Welcome students. Today I will discuss kinematics. And what is the introduction of this chapter? First you see from where it is originated. First it is required mechanics. This is part of physics where we will discuss the effect of force. Whenever force is applied on a body, what will be the effect? That is discussed in mechanics. And previously in mechanics, the working of different machines and structure of different machines was discussed. But here now we are discussing the effect of force. Now whenever the force is applied, we will get two situations. One is dynamics and another is statics. So dynamics means when force is applied, it will move. So motion is there. And statics means equilibrium. So in dynamics, it is divided into two parts. One is kinematics and another is kinetics. So here we will discuss about motion. Here we will discuss about rest or equilibrium. In kinematics, we are discussing the properties of motion. And here in kinetics, we are discussing the cause of motion, and here it is properties of motion. And in kinematics, we have motion in one dimension, motion in two dimension, circular motion, simple harmonic motion, like this. So we want to discuss this part, kinematics first. To kinematics, in kinematics, we know that it is related with the discussion of motion. Now, what is motion? Motion means the change of position with respect to time. So, when a particle changes its position with respect to time, then it is said that it is the motion. But it is not the complete definition, because in our nature, we cannot discuss any absolute rest or absolute motion. Whatever we are getting, all these are relative rest, relative motion. So in the case of relative rest or motion, we have to design a particular frame. With respect to that frame, we can discuss the motions, different type of motions or rest. Now in physics, many types of reference frames there for discussing the many types of different type of motions. Circular, cylindrical, spherical, and azimuthal, and polar coordinate system. So many there, but the simplest one is two perpendicular axes, x and y. The simplest Cartesian frame and two perpendicular axes, or maybe three. Generally, we have to explain all the motions, whatever we are getting in nature, on the basis of the frame. Okay? And along x-axis generally we represent time, and here the displacement, the velocity, acceleration, like this. Now we want to draw different type of graphs for different type of motions. First we are going to the uniform velocity. A particle is moving with uniform velocity. Then this is t, this is v. So uniform velocity and velocity remains constant. See, time is moving, but velocity is not going up or down. It remains constant. So parallel. But if uniform velocity, but what is the displacement? Displacement will be like this. Because in 1 second, the uniform velocity is 5 centimeter per second. So what is the meaning of this? In 1 second 5, first second it is 5, second also 5, third second also 5, and fourth second also 5. So you see the displacement remains same for same time interval. Now in 2 seconds what is the total displacement? 10. In 3 seconds 15. So in 1 second 5, 2 seconds is 10, 3 seconds is 15, 4 seconds is 20, like this. So this is in the case of uniform velocity. Now coming to uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration. Acceleration is uniform, so with respect to time, there is no change of acceleration. And the velocity will increase at a constant rate. So constant rate means this angle remains same. The slope of the line remains same. And displacement will be a parabola. Because you know that instead of in the case of acceleration, what is the unit? Semi per second square. So the displacement is depends on time square. So if it is 1 second, then it is 1. So 2 seconds is 4, 2 square. 3 seconds it is 9. 4 seconds is 16. So it will move gradually on a curve line. Now just you think the reverse one, which is uniform retardation. Retardation means negative acceleration. Means what? This is A, this is T, so this is the negative acceleration. And velocity, this will go down. Uniform, so the slope remains constant, straight line. And retardation will be like this, T and S. See here the slope represents velocity. Here the slope is more, but here the slope is less, and here the slope is less, and gradually it becomes parallel, means velocity is 0. So velocity decreasing means the S versus T graph slope will be the direction, will be the measurement of velocity. Now these are the basic graphs, and on the basis of these we can explain all other velocities and motions also. Just you consider a body is projected vertically upwards, then what will be V versus T graph? Vertically projected vertically upwards with velocity sign. What will be? So initially velocity is there, positive, and it is going down, it becomes 0 at the maximum height, and then the direction changes. So this will be the graph of a body which is projected vertically upwards. So these are the combination of that graphs. So you have to concentrate on the basic graphs first, then you can analyze it, you can combine them. Now, equation of motions. Let a particle is moving with uniform velocity v uniform velocity. Yes. Then what is the displacement? S equal to v. How? Because uniform velocity v means each second it's moving v, then v, then v, then v like this. So v, 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 v. So in 1 second it is v, 2 seconds it is 2v, 3 seconds it is 3v. So in t second it will be v. So what is the graphical interpretation? Graphical interpretation means let this is time and this is v and this remains parallel. The uniform velocity means the velocity remains parallel with respect to the time axis because there is no change of slope like this one. Then O, this is V, and C, this is T. So what is the displacement? Displacement is Vd from the definition. Now V here it is OA and T here it is OC. So you can say that this is the area of figure OABC rectangle. So it is the area of the figure of the rectangle. So you have to keep in mind that if it is asked that find out displacement from V versus T graph, then only you have to draw, you have to find out the area. So from the area we can find out displacement. So displacement can be measured from the area of V versus T graph. Now acceleration, if acceleration is there, then what will be the graph? Let this is t and this is v. Acceleration, initial velocity is u, and when the particle moves with this velocity, then the graph will be like this with constant velocity. But acceleration means it will increase, and uniform acceleration, so increment is constant. Now it will go like this. So this is the graph of velocity. So this distance is v, this is t, and let this angle is theta. So what is the definition of acceleration? Equal to velocity change by time. Velocity change means v minus u by t. That is, if it is c, it is v. So v means bc minus oa by oc. So you can write here bd by oc. So bd is this. This is the perpendicular. This is the base. So perpendicular by this means tan. So how we can find out the acceleration? From v versus t graph, you have to draw the slope. You have to draw the line of v versus t graph, and the slope will be the measurement of acceleration. So the slope of v versus t graph is the measurement of acceleration. Now, what is the displacement made by the particle in this time? We know that displacement equal to area under v versus t graph. Then this area of figure OABC, it is half base, half into parallel side into perpendicular distance. This is the formula of area of a trapezium. Half into parallel side into perpendicular distance. Means half u plus v into t. So we can conclude from here that u plus v by 2 into t, that is displacement equal to average velocity v average into time. Average means initial plus final by 2. Now you can replace the value of v in the term of u plus at. Then s equal to u plus at by 2 into t, that is ut plus half of at square. So this is what we can see. Now a particle is moving with uniform acceleration for a certain distance s. Then what will be the final velocity? Here it is. We know that v equal to u plus at. This means what? The velocity after time t. But if it is there, given that velocity after certain distance, then what will happen? See, in this case, we can start from here that a is equal to u plus v by 2 into t, average velocity into time. And time can be replaced by, we know that a equal to v minus u by t or t equal to v minus u by a. So here we can replace that u plus v by 2 into v minus u by a, that is s equal to v square minus u square by 2a. So v square minus u square equal to 2as, then v square equal to u square plus 2as. So this is the final velocity after covering a distance s, obviously with uniform acceleration. Now a particle is moving with acceleration means what? Let in first second the displacement is this, first second. In second it is more. Third second it is more. Fourth second it is more. So the displacement in each second increasing when it is moving with uniform acceleration. But in the case of uniform velocity, we know that the displacement remains constant. Means these are same. But in the case of acceleration, it will increase gradually. Then what we have? Then we want to find out in fourth second what is the displacement. This displacement in a particular second. What we have to do? Then we have to consider the total displacement in 4 seconds. Then in third second, total displacement in 3 seconds, total displacement in 4 seconds, and subtract them. So here, this is the t, and t minus 1 second is this t minus 1 second. So we have to find out this area. So each second displacement means what? OABD minus OABF. See, OABD is the area covered in t second. T second area is OABD, and OABD is the displacement in t second, total time. And before that, 1 second before that is the time interval is t minus 1, then the displacement is OABF. So if you subtract these two figures, these are trapezium, obviously you will get trapezium EBCF. So what will be the area of trapezium? Half into parallel side into perpendicular distance. So half into parallel side is V plus B minus A into 1. That is V minus half A. That is U plus AT minus half A. That is U plus half A into 2t minus 1. So this is the displacement in a particular second. Now all these equations, whatever we have received, all these are related with uniform acceleration. All these equations, uniform velocity, uniform acceleration. But if we find that the acceleration is not uniform, then what will be the treatment of these equations? Let us consider this is time, this is velocity, and if not uniform acceleration, then the graph will be straight line. But now it is not uniform, so I am considering any curve, like this type of curve, A, B. We have to find out the acceleration between 2 points P and Q. So these 2 points are considered, and here the velocity is v1, here the velocity is v2, and up to this time is t1, and up to this time is t2. Now, what is the average acceleration? Equal to change in velocity by change in time. So velocity means v2 minus v1, v1 minus v2, v1 minus v2 by t2 minus t1. That is equal to delta v by delta t. And what is the meaning of delta v and delta t in the graph? Now you draw perpendicular, and this will be the extra one, delta v. This is a growth, and this is the time required, in which time the growth made. Now delta v by delta t means this is theta, so A average equal to tan theta. So what is the conclusion we have received from this treatment? That is, if we want to find out the average acceleration between 2 points of t versus t graph, then you have to join these 2 points through a straight line. And the slope of that straight line means tan theta will be the measurement of average acceleration. So instead of uniform acceleration, we can put this value. So all the equations can be used whenever we can find out the average one. So average acceleration can be replaced by the uniform acceleration. Now, if the time interval is dt tends to 0, means very small time interval is there, then what will happen? This time interval is very small, means the q point will be just after p point, because the gap is not there. So this PQ joining line becomes a tangent to this graph, red theta. So in the case of instantaneous acceleration, delta t tends to 0, and that time the point Q will be just after P. So the joining line of PQ becomes a tangent to the graph, and the slope of the tangent will be instantaneous acceleration. So A instantaneous means delta v by delta 2 t, but there is a certain limit, delta t tends to 0, and this total formation can be written in the form of ddt, which is known as velocity gradient with respect to time. Okay, and this ddt is known as differential operator. Differential operator. So whenever this operator is introduced in a function, it will change the rate of change, it will change the quantity. Now some effect we can discuss here of this operator. When it is used, ddx of x to the power n, it will be n x to the power n minus 1. So this power, this is the function, and power is coming to the coefficient and it is decreased by 1 unit. And ddx of constant c, what will be the value? 0. Dx of sin x, this will be cos x, but dx of cos x, it will be minus sin x. And ddx of tan x, sec square x. Ddx of log x, so 1 by x. And ddx of ub, two terms there. ddx of ub, two terms, two operators, two functions there. Then u dv dx plus v du dx. One more thing, if we find that something is given like this, that ddx of sin theta. See here, dd theta here is a, so it cannot operate. Now we can modify this. dd theta of sin theta and d theta. This is the chain rule. dd theta of sin theta and d theta dx. So these are important formula you have to keep in mind because these are related with mathematics, and in mathematics calculus, differential calculus part is there. And there you will get the proof how this formula can be designed. But here you have to keep in mind. Thank you.